thing that I found about this camera is, and just playing around with it for the past little bit, is I don't really have much to say unless somebody asks me a question, right? So maybe we'll start like maybe 10 minutes towards the end. So we'll sit maybe 15 minutes or so, and then if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them, and right, if anything comes up for you, I'm happy to clarify them, and then we can put this business on YouTube, so right, when folks who aren't here, right, can get some insight if they want to. Okay.
How much of a intention do you have? Like, today I'm going to just really focus on the sounds, or today I'm gonna rest in loving kindness, or today I'm gonna do this, or try and look at this part of myself, or do you have a more just consistent practice? I mean, some sort of, you do a lot of concentration meditation.
Are you talking about me, or are you talking about what would be best for you?
I was asking about you, but I guess I really meant what's best for me.
Okay. In the beginning, it's important to have a direction. Okay, it's important to have I'm going to sit down, and for the next 15 minutes, unless there's a house fire, I'm going to stay focused on my breath. Okay, that is pretty crucial in the beginning. For the next 10 minutes, I am going to return to the breath no matter what. That is, I think, inherently a very masculine approach to the practice. You kind of push your way through it, right? I remember I was telling in the early periods of my meditation, like the first 5 years or so, I remember telling one female Buddhist teacher, that if God interrupts my meditation, I will kill God, right? And I think I read that in some occult book, actually, right? Because if God's interrupting your meditation, actually it's not God, right? And so in that way, you just use that sword of wisdom to cut everything off, and you take a direction, you pick a tack, and you stay, right, like a sailing deal, not a tack. But you pick a direction and you stay with it, okay? In that, what you gain is insight into how your mind is caught up in what we call momentary concentration. Okay, and momentary concentration is like you were talking about yesterday. It sits on one thing for about a third of a second, and then it boom, 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 boom. And what we're doing is we're moving from, over the course of months and years, we're moving from a mind that is only capable of momentary concentration to a mind that is capable of what we call access concentration. And access concentration is steady. It's a steady burn, it's a steady flame, it is effortless, and the curtains don't come down. Okay? With momentary concentration, what happens is it's like an eye blinking. Bonk, I look over here, oh, that's no longer interesting. Bonk. It's like a camera. In fact, you could say it's the difference between still photography and what's happening here now with this camera. It doesn't blink. Okay? And with access concentration, which is gained as a result of sticking with one object, okay? That is probably the most valuable thing that a person can do in terms of in terms of being able to resolve Dharma objects, right? And by Dharma object, what I mean is an arbitrary separation between yourself and your environment in the intrapersonal realm inside. Okay, so very specifically, I'm sitting here, and there is a me. In other words, I am somewhere in my experience. And then I also have arising in my awareness, I also have some kind of emotional or conceptual contraction. Okay? And with momentary concentration, if I'm only capable of momentary concentration, what I do is I recoil from this. It's too hot. I can't deal with it. Okay? It seems solid to me. And the fact of the matter is, the essential fact is that it is not solid, it's transparent. But we cannot see that until we gain this ability to penetrate. Again, that's masculine nomenclature, isn't it? I mean, we're penetrating something, we're going into this object that seemed very real. Okay? And in fact, it is real from the point of view of momentary concentration. It is absolutely real. Now, from the point of access concentration and from the point of deeper states of concentration, you can absolutely move right into it and resolve it. Okay? So, this thing that seemed very real to me, this thing that seemed to be A, separate from myself, B, a problem, C, unresolvable. When I am able to move into it, I sublime it. Okay, and I've used this term many times before, and I actually discovered just a little while ago that it is a verb. I think it's a verb in, the verb in psychological terms is sublimate, but the verb I think it's in geology, working with metals. Okay, the word sublime means to turn a solid into a gas. Or it might be a liquid, right? To turn a solid into a gas. And so what you're doing with access concentration is you are moving into this thing and dissolving it. That's actually the very technical definition of resolving something. You're turning it into a solvent. Okay? It's no longer a crystal, right? So in the beginning, as we're moving from just momentary concentration to access concentration, it's absolutely essential to pick something that you're going to do and keep returning the mind again and again and again to it. As you move forward, different things happen, but I think that's probably a discussion for another day. Okay?
Thank you.
So maybe we'll finish there.